Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploded like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're a force can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. Good morning, Ken. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad, but the NFL decided that we shouldn't be talking about playoffs, that we need to talk about yet another coach that got fired.
Oh, do say.
Mike McDaniel has officially been fired as the head coach of Miami.
I wonder if some of that's the Harbaugh Stefanski effect.
I was hearing rumors, I think about last week or something like that, before any of these moves have been made, was that if Stefanski and McDaniel had both been fired, that there was a very good chance that they could end up swapping teams, because apparently the Browns are really interested in McDaniel's creativity and play design.
I just love his press conferences too. I think he's a good dude. Players love him. Locker rooms love him. The media loves him. Fan loves the way he interacts with them. I mean, the dude catching a vape hit in between plays is all-time classic shit. The dude's a smart guy. Went to Yale, right? Or Baylor or something like that. Good morning, Cam. I'm surprised. First off, I'm surprised it took them till yesterday to do it, because like I said, every day they wait, it's another day behind the power curve. But if they think that they have a real shot at Harbaugh or Stefanski, maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they see that as an upgrade for what they need right now. I like McDaniel though. I mean, Broski, there is.
I'm putting it out now.
Yeah, we had to change the StreamYard.
Yeah, there you go,
Wait,
Broski.
so Miami fired McDaniel?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, he becomes head coach candidate number 1 for the Raiders, dude.
Hey! You keep your hands off of him, and hopefully everybody else does, because I'd like to insert him as an offensive coordinator.
I don't know if like that's like saying though he'd come work for Ben Johnson. I don't know if those guys, if he'd want to do that, because like LaFleur, Johnson, they're offensive guys. I don't know if you're a guy like McDaniel, if that's what you want to do.
That's why I'm hoping he doesn't get a head coaching job, so he has no choice but to.
No, I mean, you could go to Buffalo. Could you imagine what he would do with Josh Allen?
You can go to the Raiders.
How are you going to say?
Help us prepare our first overall quarterback.
I mean, I'm a little surprised by the McDaniel firing, just because I'm surprised they didn't do it earlier if they were going to do it. I mean, because every day you wait's a day behind the power curve, right, for getting your new coach. But I don't know if there's much out there better, outside maybe, like you could say maybe Stefanski, maybe Harbaugh. Maybe Miami thinks they have an inside track to get one of them. But like you look at some of these other candidates, I think their GM was really the issue. Or maybe it's at the point where in their GM search they're having a problem because the GMs that they are interested in are like, look, I want to pick my own head coach. And that could be it too. Like his GM who fucked him over and got himself fired, fucked him over again and got him fired because now they can't hire a GM who wants to have a sitting head coach there. So I mean, there's several different reasons McDaniel could have been fired, but I mean, honestly, like, usually you fire them on Monday. To wait till Wednesday night to do it, you really waited an extra long time. So I'm wondering if Obviously, it wasn't an easy decision for Miami.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think they were hemming and hawing on it
I
because
think part of it's
yeah, you hear the way that they talk about shit. Not just the players. You hear other people in that organization. They seem to really like the guy.
Yeah.
It's just I think him and Tua with what came out on the field this year, they just said, all right, you know what, screw it. It's time for a clean wipe, which I personally would have kept McDaniel because look what he did with Tua. And yeah, that would give me a lot of hope that this guy could develop another quarterback.
JB, that's hilarious. The Harbaugh interviewing with Harbaugh. I'm surprised he's not already a
Problem
special
is-
assistant to his brother.
The problem with that is that Tua's contract is so prohibitively large that they can't really get rid of Tua.
Yeah, but we said that
So they're
about
kind of
Russ.
tied to Tua for the next couple of years.
But we said that about Russ and Denver, and
Yep.
Denver still got rid of Russ. You know what I
But
mean?
Russ
I'm
had a
still
30
kinda-
like a $30 million. Russ
Let me
had like
look
a
it up.
37 million. Tua has like a 55 per season.
Yeah.
Let me look it up and see what they're
Yeah,
over the cap.
I'm still kind of under the impression too. I think McDaniel might be more of the offensive coordinator type as opposed to being like a head coach type. He just might be one of those guys who's a better OC than he is a head coach.
I was gonna say that very well
If
could
you
be.
cut
I
Tua-
like the offenses he runs.
If you cut to a post June 1st, your dead cap is 67.4 million, which is less than the 80 million that Russ had.
Yeah. If
Tyreek
it's-
Hill's cap number, dude. Look, check out these two cap numbers for next year. First off, cap space is or the cap is what 286 million, right? Tua and Tyreek alone, the two of them combined, make up $108 million of their cap.
If I'm Miami, Tua is gone the second I get the opportunity to. And then with Tyreek, I'd try and see if anybody would want to trade for him. Granted, I know he's coming off the massive leg injury and all that, but shit, I'd even take a low round pick for him at that point just to dump that salary off and get something out of it. Because you're already getting a new GM, a new head coach. You might as well wipe the board.
Look, there are two guys. Wow. Okay, if you cut Tyreek post, if you do, you have two post June 1st designations. Let's say you're like, I'm stuck with Tua. If you cut Tyreek and Bradley Chubb, you're saving $56 million, and your dead cap combined is $26 million. Tyreek carries 15.8, Bradley Chubb 10.9. Waddle's got a huge cap number two for dead cap if you to cut him.
I was gonna say I'd keep Waddle though if I'm rebuilding.
Miami's gonna be an interesting situation. Yeah, with Tua, they're kind of stuck like Chuck unless they just want. I mean, if they take they eat it for you only eat it for the 1 year, pretty much, don't you? On the dead cap. So I mean,
Yeah, depending on what he's designated as.
yeah, it's.
You
What I
know,
wish it-
obviously Stefanski and Harbaugh are the big two head coaching names out there, and those are two big head coaching names. But if you're a team like the Giants, like specifically, so they've been rumored to really like Ejiro Evero as their next head coach. Maybe they're waiting to after the Panthers playoffs, you know, to maybe make him an offer. But what if you do something like, hey, let's bring in Evero, make him head coach, work with this defense, all this talent on the defense, and then are able to bring in like a guy like Mike McDaniel to be the OC and to work with Dart. Like all of a sudden, man, that team could turn it around quick.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like the Dable argument. Like if like with Vegas, right? Like, okay, what if Harbaugh goes there and brings Dable as his OC, or Stefanski goes there and have Dable as your OC? It's the same argument with Dable. Like he might just be better off being an OC somewhere. McDaniel, unlike Dable, I think he can get a head coaching job. Unlike Dable, because he's so well respected and liked. But you're not wrong though either. Like if you take a defensive coordinator, like say Hafley, and pair him up with McDaniel in New York, like that could work
Yeah.
too. And I use Halfley
Yep.
because he's a defensive coordinator. So if one of these defensive coordinators, you take them and pair them up with McDaniel, yeah, I mean it's the same thing, like as you would do with Dable, let's say in Vegas. You know, I mean,
I hear you.
but you know what though, like now Dable though, you have to think maybe he could get a head coaching gig because now we got what 8 teams with head coaches. I mean, Dable might be able to get a job at Arizona or Miami. I mean, there's a lot of job openings. And when you think about it, Flores is one of the coordinators that gets talked about, but we all know he's got the court case stuff. Unless someone throws an obscene amount of money at him, which he's not worth, to forego his court case, he's probably not going to do it. You've got Harbaugh, you've got Stefanski, you got 8 jobs. So after those 2, you got 6 jobs, and you're like, okay, who are the really? Is it Matt Nagy? Is it Halfley? I mean, these guys are good coordinators in their own right to a certain degree, but are they all really that far up for the head coaching? John, you know, you got 8 teams. Thank you, JB. Put it up there. 8 teams without a head coach. 10 that need coordinators, right? And
Yeah.
he's saying just OCs. So let's not even mention the defensive coordinators, right? I mean, so McDaniel, odds are McDaniel Dable could probably get another job. Kingsbury could get a job.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to brainstorm too. Like who are the top 4 OCs that could be possible in line for a possible head coaching job this offseason? Who are the top 4 defensive coordinators who could possibly, be hired for one of these coaching jobs? And then on top of that, you have all the actual head coaches who got fired who are still going to be available too. So,
I mean, Flores, asterisk. Halfley is definitely get looked at. Both guys in Kansas City.
Yeah, I think Evero will get looked at from Panthers, their defensive coordinator.
I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if your defensive coordinator gets looked at for a couple because he's already got head coaching experience before.
Bears defense, I don't think was good enough. Statistically speaking, yes, they led the league in turnovers, but defensively we ranked like 25 or something like that.
Yeah.
He has to be. If we were top,
He
10
could
defense,
get
I'd
looks.
be like,
He could get looks, but-
I was gonna say you get a flashy stat like takeaways.
might get some looks,
I was
but
gonna say that
But
can
yeah,
lure an owner to look at you.
Yeah, my inclination with him though is he's more just cut to be a DC instead of a head coach. But yeah, I mean, will he get a couple looks? Sure, he might.
I think he's a year or 2 out from being a serious contender for a head coaching gig too. These guys normally if you look at Matt Nagy as say a roadmap, which isn't that bad of a roadmap to look at. After he loses the head coaching job in Chicago, as he goes to Kansas City, he's the quarterbacks coach with Mahomes. Then he gets promoted back to OC. He's been the OC there for a couple years now. Now he's being looked at for head coaching gigs. Where you're starting to hear his name in the media more. I think some of these guys like Saleh, same thing. Saleh got fired as head coach. He's a defensive coordinator. He's not being looked. You don't hear his name though for head coaching gigs, even though he's done a great job in San Francisco. But I don't think you hear his name for at least another year. Like if San Francisco has a really good defense again next year with him, then you'll start to hear his name because people are like, okay, it was 1 year. Show me 2 or 3 years, and then I'll consider you for a head coach again. I think that's kind of the track these guys take when they get fired as head coaches and go back to being regular coaches.
And if you see the 49ers and the Steelers end up winning a playoff game this year, that might give more of a reason to give Saleh a head coaching opportunity again. Because it could be, we're not going to count the Jets after you because it was a dumpster fire. You 2 guys that were the scapegoat of that ended up doing very well on your own. I could definitely see an owner talking themselves into it like that.
And really, Ken, if you think about their 8 openings right now, there could be 3 more at the end of this weekend. Right? If Tomlin loses his game, he might be fired. If you lose your game, which you will, LaFleur could be fired. Don't you love? And there is your trash talk for this weekend. Thank you.
Oh no!
And then
Caleb's just going to forfeit the game. You can go, no, not today.
And then if you look at, believe it or not, the Eagles, he could be fired if they lose. I mean, if those three get fired, now Tomlin may retire, but LaFleur would get looks.
I was gonna say, if those three end up getting fired, you're gonna see a freaking Wild West of coaches type of shit going
Well, yeah, 'cause now
on.
you'd have 11 openings, almost half the league, damn near close. What, 40% of the league would be without a head coach? And not to mention all the OCs and DCs that have to move around. And I mean, dude, this is going to be the biggest coaching upheaval. Could be the biggest coaching upheaval we've seen in a decade. When's the
Third
last
of the
time we had
league.
this many openings?
I can't think of it.
That's awesome, JB. I mean, when was the last time we had this many openings in the head coaching market? And if we get, let me ask Rock what the largest number of teams needing a head coach was. What's the biggest number of head coaches? I don't know if I'm asking the question right, but Grok is usually pretty decent at sorting.
You know,
I mean,
oh.
Go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna. I've been thinking about Miami. I kind of wanted to go back to Miami just for a second, because if you're gonna fire McDaniel, or you already fired McDaniel, right? Like you already fired your GM. It seems like you're in the mood to clean house. You might as well just go ahead and flush the whole fucking thing right now.
That's exactly
as
what I'm
well
saying, Joe.
Go ahead and just fucking flush Tua, flush Tyreek. Like, take the cap hit now, and let your new head coach know, like, hey, look, yeah, we're gonna have some cap issues for a year, but this is part of or actually you got to hire a GM first so that they can hire your coach, right? So let the new GM know, like, look, we're flushing this out so that we're gonna suck for a year, right? Probably. There's no guarantees though, because we still have draft picks. Like,
Lions fans will remind you that you can hire your head coach and 2 weeks later hire your GM like they did. But
but if you're going the traditional route, you're going to want to hire a GM because he's going to want to hire his own head coach, right? My point is simply, you've already halfway flushed it, right? You fired your GM, you fired your head coach. Now you might as you've been complaining about Tua for the last couple of years.
Well, I think you do that though, because head coaches want their quarterbacks. You've heard that argument. A head coach wants their quarterback. A GM wants their head coach. Believe it or not, guys, this is per Grok. The NFL typically sees 6 to 8 head coaching vacancies, i.e., changes, firings leading to new hires, in a singles offseason with higher turnover in some years. Record for most vacancies, the record for the most head coaching changes in one offseason is 10, which occurred after the 2017 season, the 2018 cycle. Notable high turnover seasons, 9 changes after 2013 and 2020 season. 8 changes, 2011, 2012, 2016, 2023, and now 2026. Turnovers averaged about 7 per year over the last decade or so, influenced by factors like short leashes for coaches and performance expectations. The league has had 32 teams since 2002, so 10 changes represent nearly a third of the league turning over at once. That's crazy. So this is a typical year, guys. I mean, right now we're within the realm of typical. If we get 3 more guys get fired, though, that would be the highest in history. We're at 8 right now. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. NFL, not for long.
Hey, where is Miami picking in the draft? I'm curious about this because of this little, this scenario that I'm cooking up.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm checking right now.
Okay, the top 18, of course, are locked in as we wait wild card weekend.
11.
Obviously, you're at number 1. The Jets are at 2. Arizona is at 3. Man, they've been in the top 5 like every year. The Titans are at 4. The Giants are at 5. Cleveland's at 6. Commanders at 7. Saints at 8. Wow, where is Miami's at 11? Because remember, Miami got sneaky good towards the back end and almost snuck their way into the playoffs.
Yeah, but so that kind of look, if Ty Simpson comes out, which there's a chance he will, right? I personally think he should probably go back to school for another year. But if he does come out, that could be an interesting candidate because Miami is in, they're just outside the top 10, and Simpson is projected as a mid to late first round pick. Like, you could start over at quarterback with Ty Simpson, who one of the real strengths of his game is his processing speed. He gets the ball out fast, and you have Waddle who can run quick slants and things like that. Like, I might consider it. You don't have to trade up and spend a whole bunch of draft capital. Like, if you really wanted to flush the whole thing, you could start on a new rookie quarterback contract this year.
JB, Gronk didn't go back that far. They went back like the last decade.
I mean,
Gronk 2006. They only looked at the last decade.
am I nuts here, or like
No,
nobody's saying anything?
yeah, it's because I'm right on there with you. That's what I've been fucking saying pretty much the whole show.
And oh, by the way, the Lions are at 17 and the Vikings are at 18 in the draft.
What do you think about that, Broski?
Sorry, Joe, you're gonna have to repeat that real quick.
Oh, I was just saying that, like, if the Dolphins already fired their head coach and their GM, right? So they've already halfway flushed it. They might as well flush Tua and Tyreek and get rid of take the dead cap hit and get those contracts off their books. They're picking at 11. Ty Simpson, if he comes out, he'll be there at 11. You could theoretically start on a new rookie contract right now. It's going to be his first year, so you don't really have high expectations anyway to go with your cap space issue, right? Like,
yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I don't think there's any way like they can shed Tua. Like, Tua, it worst will be a backup quarterback. They might even use him for half a season to be a bridge quarterback for whichever rookie quarterback they might draft as well. Tyreek, different story. They could cut him, or they could dump him.
Because they can cut Tyreek and cut Tua. Let me throw this to you real quick, and I'll let you continue. Right now, they're $23.2 million over the cap with 47 signed. If you cut Tua and Tyreek, you're down to 45 signed, but you're now plus $3 million in cap by cutting both of them. Tua gets you negative $11 million for post-June first drop, but Tua saves you 36. So he not only mitigates the 11, but he absorbs all the 23 that you're over the cap right now. And now you're on the plus side $3 million, plus you're getting 20. So you have 45 under contract, and you're going to have roughly 23 to 25 million to sign. Roughly 8 players, which will be your draft.
So financially, they do have a window where if they did cut Tua, it would actually not be bad, right? Or not be terrible.
If they cut Tyreek and Conklin,
okay,
yes.
So, yeah, in theory, like Joe, like when you fire a GM and you fire a head coach, yeah, you should time it up with getting your new quarterback in the door too. Which means, honestly, if you can get rid of your old starting quarterback, just get him off the roster. So yeah, break it down. They're building from ground up, man. Like they're absolutely like they're full rebuild mode is what I'm trying to say. Shed contracts, stack draft picks, and don't get tied into very many other big signings with, especially for overpaid for vets that you might be thinking about overpaying. Don't do it. Like, keep that at a minimum for now.
You can't trade Tyreek because of the injury, and that's the thing though too. Because Tyreek, I don't know if he's gonna be back for the beginning of the season. They might get some cap relief just by making them on the pup. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if they're on the pup, their cap does not hit you while they're on the pup.
I'm not positive on that. I know if they're on IR through the entire year from the beginning, like in training camp at that point, then that doesn't count against the cap.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's where Tyreek.
Oh, okay, then.
That's up, same thing. So Tyreek, in theory, you can kind of never take him off the IR and be absolved of him and cost you nothing. But Tua is in a situation like, can you trade Tua? And I mean, like, look, you're at the point like I can cut him and take the hit, right? But can I trade Tua and maybe lessen the hit? I don't know. Do you think someone would be willing to trade for Tua for anything at all?
No.
Not with that contract.
I wouldn't give you a half-chewed chip for him.
you'd have to restructure his contract
Yes.
in order to get him into a manageable cap number, and even then, it's like,
You could pay
You
me
know,
to take Tua, and I'm not taking
but
him.
here's another thing. ESPN just reported the other day, like Tua was asked, "Hey, what would you think about a new scenery, a fresh start?" And he said in the press conference, "That would be dope." And this is ESPN reporting. This is not like, one of these clickbait kind of things. This is ESPN reporting. He said, "Yeah, that would be dope." Like, so if he wants out of there, like, they want him out of there. He wants out of there. I don't know, man. Maybe Ty Simpson isn't your first choice, but he's only going to cost you rookie quarterback money if he doesn't pan out. You're out what, the number 11 pick? Okay, you're in a rebuild anyway.
See,
Like,
that's
you
a
let
weird
him
thing
come
with
in,
Miami.
take the hits this year, and then you're
Like,
I don't know.
Really, when you look at Miami, what they should have done is hired the GM, kept the head coach, and let the head coach and Tua's contract move along a little bit, and then you in 2 years you could fire both of them, so to speak, and hire a new head coach who can go get their own quarterback, right? The way they're doing this now, I don't know if it's going to work for them, to be honestly. Dude, Fred, I think that'd be awesome. I think Miami's a hard sell for a head coach to go to because you're stuck with that roster. There's not much you can do to that roster if they're not willing to part with Tua and take the hit and Tyreek. Like with those contracts, I would say it's kind of like Nola was for jobs last year. Nola was the bottom of the barrel, right? No one really wanted the Nola job. The guy who took the Nola job because basically no one else was offering him a job anywhere else. He's like, sure, why not? AG wanted to go to the Jets for whatever reason, right? I mean, no one wanted to go to Nola last year. I look at Miami as being that job that people are going to look at. If you look at the head coach and you go, okay, maybe Arizona is worse because it's Arizona. Because who thinks of going to Arizona? But like you have to think of the 8 jobs out there. Arizona, Miami have to rank on the bottom for their various reasons. But with Miami, it's because you're going to go there as a head coach unless you really want to coach Tua. Because the only time it works for a candidate really wants to go there is like last year, Ben's like, I want to work with Caleb. That was one of his. That's why he didn't interview with anyone else. He wanted Caleb. Great. Right? He knew that Caleb was going to be a type of player that fit his coaching style. He wanted to coach Caleb. He didn't want to coach Drake May. Okay, whatever. You have to find a coach who wants to coach Tua. Who says, yeah, Tua can be my guy. Is Harbaugh going to be that guy? No.
Or Miami can do what I said and flush Tyreek and Tua, get rid of it and start over and build, trade away anybody that's worth any bit of capital, trade them away and build your team out with young players on rookie contracts. Miami hasn't done a terrible job drafting, but now their GM is gone. But
if you trade Chubb, who's 29 years old, if you traded Bradley Chubb, next year's cap number is 31 mil. You could save some money there. He's only got 26 and 27 left and a void year in 28. Maybe you can trade Bradley Chubb. That's another big contract you got. Your big 3 contracts for next year are Tua, Tyreek, and Chubb. And then everyone else, and you got at 15 million, you got Austin Jackson and a couple guys in the 10-11 range are Jordan Brooks, Zach Sealer, and Jaden Waddle. So, but you move your 3 biggest contracts being Tua, Tyreek, and Chubb, and dude, you could free up a lot of money. Even if you just cut the 3 of them, you're looking at a net savings of almost $50 million just by cutting 3 of them. And now if you cut 3 of them, you have 44 on the roster signed. So you've got 9 people to sign about $40-some million, and that's basically your draft picks and you're full. So, you could get rid of Chubb, Hill, and Tua and kind of reset that roster in a big way. And you got you look at Ewers. Ewers is on that roster too. AJ Henning's on that roster. Like he didn't even play last year. He was a practice squad. They have 45, including their practice squad guys on active roster right Because you got to remember that's what they're looking at. So that number might be skewed a little bit, but you could, in theory, cut the top 3 guys and free up 30, 40 million plus get 20 million. You could have 50, 60 million having to sign maybe 9 to 15 guys to your roster, which is definitely doable, especially the way Joe's breaking it down. Rookie deals.
I just think if you're going to do it, now's the time to do it. You already flushed the coach, the GM. You might as well go ahead and get rid of the bad contracts on your roster in the same year. I think that I agree with you that the Miami job doesn't look very attractive because of that, but it might be more attractive to a potential GM if he sees, okay, yeah, you fired the coach and the GM, but you also got rid of all the bad contracts. So we're doing it all in 1 year. This is the flush year. I understand that going in. You're going to have a little patience with me. You're not expecting me to win 11 games next year. Like, it might make it more attractive.
And Tyreek, you can just stash on the IR. So let's be honest, you really don't have to cut. And Chubb's had injury issues, so you can say, look, Chubb's been hurt a lot. We need to let that contract go. Tua, that's going to be a different fight. But with Tyreek, you can just stash him in the IR for the whole year. You can do what the Bears should do next year to Deo. Deo should never come off the IR. And that'll absolve the Bears of a $20 million cap hit. I mean, and then they can cut him after that, and they're cost them nothing. That's what the Dolphins, in a way, need to do with Tyreek.
Yep.
And then maybe seek a trade of Tyreek while on the IR, which you can do. You're not going to get as much back, but look, at this point, you're probably just going to cut him anyways because you're going to leave Tyreek on the IR for the whole year. If you can get a 5th rounder out of it, dude, get the 5th rounder out of it. It costs you nothing at this point. You're actually making money there. So, I mean, Chubb is an easy one. They can probably cut Chubb and the fan base won't be up in arms. Tyreek, you can just say, well, he's not coming off the IR, and they're not going to be up in arms because, well, they'll forget about him, right? Well, he's on the roster. Oh, but he's on the IR, right? The hard piece is the sell to the fan base there is Tua. And then if you really, I mean, we're spending a lot of time in Miami, but let's look at Arizona. Same thing. Get rid of Kyler.
Mm-hmm.
And they got some contracts.
I think they're planning to.
In the comments.
I think they are planning to get rid of Kyler.
Watch, he goes to Miami. But I mean, the difference of this year's coaching carousel last year, the coaching carousel, the bells of the ball were coordinators and guys who weren't getting fired as head coaches, right? It was Vrabel, it was Ben Johnson, it was AG. Those were the bells of the ball, right? It was what's his name down there in Jacksonville, who was an OC and coming from Tampa. This year, the bells of the ball are head coaches who were just fired. Stefanski, Harbaugh.
If I'm Arizona, I might consider, because they have the number 3 overall pick, I might consider trading down and trying to stock up some draft capital for next year and start Jacoby Brissett this year. Like,
yeah,
he played pretty well last year. Start him the whole year and trade down pick, because there's going to be somebody that'll be willing to come up for either Arvell Reese or Ruben Bain, right? Like, you're not going to get a quarterback haul, but you could get potentially another 1st-round pick for next year. Like,
dude, Jacoby Brissett is the ideal bridge quarterback. He is the ideal bridge quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the problem with that though? Like, everyone looks at what the Bears did, and the Bears are a bad example to look at, right? Because people are like, oh, you could just trade out like the Bears did, and then look at the Bears got Caleb, and look where they are now. Okay, what? But there's some luck that went into that, right? Because the Bears got lucky that when they traded out at 1. That the team they traded with sucked so bad the next year that they got the 1 again. Like, what are the odds of that happening if you're Arizona, that you're going to trade out and the team that you trade out with is going to suck so bad that you're going to get another high draft pick next year? Like, the risk on that, the Bears are a good example of how it can work, but they're a bad example because, dude, it doesn't, that's probably not even a 50-50 proposition in this league with as many one-score games in this league.
Yeah.
If you trade him to, let's say, a team that's marginally better than you right now, I don't know who you could trade Kyler to where they'd be willing to take him, that's going to be the case. You know what I mean? I mean, it's you almost if you're at 3, you almost have to try to get your quarterback this year. Because you
Well,
can next year if you trade out, you
Nah.
might be if Jacoby Brissett, I think, gets you better than the 3 pick next year. You know, you would think. And depending on who you trade out with, you might not be picking. You might still be picking top 10, but you might be far enough back where you're going to miss out on a quarterback. You might have to take at 3. You might have to take swing now because that sweet Bears scenario, dude. That doesn't happen every day. That's a one-off.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
I'm not.
one
I'm
in
not
10.
basing my. I'm not basing my. My plan on that. I'm saying trade out of the number 3 pick because I'm not even assuming that they're trading with somebody that's looking for a quarterback. I'm assuming that they're trading with somebody who's looking to get one of the top defensive players in the draft, the pass rusher, or Arvell Reese, possibly even Caleb Downs. Like Caleb Downs
Or top
is
left tackles, because this is a good
or
draft
top
for left
left tackle, yeah.
tackles.
Or top left tackle. Like you pick up an extra first round pick next year, right? It doesn't have to be a top 5 pick. Because even if let's say you start Jacoby Brissett next year and you finish 10th overall, right? Now you still have a pick that's somewhere in the 17 to 20 something range that now you can package those picks in addition to whatever else to move up and get your guy. And next year's quarterback class is going to be a lot deeper to where it's going to look like last year's the quarterback class with Bo Nix and Drake May and all those guys. Like, you're going to have 5 quarterbacks go in the top 10 probably. So you have a shot at getting a guy. Like, I think it makes sense for Arizona to trade down at 3.
Plus, the Bears skipped the entire bridge quarterback process. Like that wasn't like a factor for them. So, that kind of buys, like what Joe's saying, it kind of buys the Cardinals another year. Like if they don't like the quarterback in this class, they don't have to feel forced to take one. They can see how it plays out next year.
Teams that you could possibly trade with, maybe Detroit, Minnesota, the Jets, the Bucks. Maybe not Baltimore, though they do need O-line, but yeah, I mean that's true when you put it that way. They're an interesting, and who's gonna be their head coach? I mean, this is like what, their 3rd head coach in 4 years, 5 years.
Dude,
5 years?
I'm telling you right now, I have this theory that John Harbaugh, if he goes anywhere this year, if he doesn't take a year off, if he stays in coaching, that he's going to the Arizona Cardinals.
You know what, Broski? I kind of had that random thought myself last night, and my reasoning behind it, he's close to his brother, but he doesn't have to compete against his brother.
He's exactly close to his brother, doesn't have to compete. And let's just look at it. John Harbaugh's not young anymore. Lots of fun in the sun in Arizona, lots of golf, nice communities for as you get older. Nice little setup out there.
And look, if Cam wins his congressional bid, he'll have a good congressman in Cam.
Absolutely.
Oh, Butters, did I out that? Whoops. But yeah, I mean, that would be interesting.
Funny, Fred.
Geez.
Well,
yeah, come on.
If you actually consider Fields a quarterback, Fred.
I was going to say that's giving Fields way too much credit.
I was going to say if you consider it a bridge to nowhere.
You know what's funny?
Bridge over the River Kwai.
There are still Bears fans. I love the Bridge River Kwai reference, by the way. You just showed your age.
Nice.
There are still Bears fans who want Justin Fields to be the Bears quarterback, and I don't get that. I don't get that.
Direct them my way. I'll have fun.
Yeah, I mean, what are they smoking? Well, I know what they're smoking, probably, but it's, geez. Fields is a good question too. I think I still think he should become a Swiss Army knife. Be a gadget quarterback, a guy that can go in, be a quarterback, a running back, a tight end, a wide receiver. Be like I'm brain farting his name now here in NOLA. Be him.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, be Taysom Hill. I think that's a great niche for Fields. We know he can run. We know he can run routes. He's fast enough to do routes. I don't know if he could run them, but I'm going to assume that he could. Yeah, he's not going to give you much blocking like Taysom Hill. He's not a big guy like Taysom Hill, but hit the weight room, Justin. That can change. I think there's a lot of stuff that can be done. I mean, he's built enough to be a running back. Let him just be a running back. I mean,
That's what I think is he
I
should go
mean-
to be a running back.
a running back that you can throw in the wildcat, and you don't know if it's a wildcat or if he's being a quarterback. I mean, dude, there's a lot of good things you can do with Justin Fields still. And Justin Fields isn't look it. It's not like Justin Fields has the worst arm we've ever seen. He's got an arm. We know he can pass for the most part. There are some issues there.
I was going to say, but can he hit the broadside of a barn?
Well, deep he can.
Well,
Now, at intermediate, well,
And then up close, it's
but look at you don't need Justin Fields to be your everyday quarterback. You just need him to be Tyson Hill, who once a blue moon's going to throw a ball. Otherwise, he's going to go catch it or he's going to run it. He's going to make defenses go crazy because you don't know what the hell he's doing. What's his role going to be? I mean, dude. I think that's a good niche for him. And you know what? I'm surprised that Taysom Hill is the only quarterback who's ever done that. The first guy they wanted to do that with,
Well,
if you guys remember, was a certain guy out of Florida, and he flat out refused it. They wanted him to be a tight end. If he had done that, could you imagine a career he may have had?
to be fair, he won a playoff game as an actual quarterback, so
This
I
is
think
true.
that kind of influenced his decision.
and you know
Tim
what would be
Tebow, he was
interesting?
brodacious.
You know what would be interesting if he went to Baltimore and then you could have Fields line up as the quarterback and send Lamar on a deep route.
Yeah,
Joe,
do the shit
no.
you could do.
I just hope that nobody in
Shit you could
Baltimore
do.
fucking heard that.
Yeah,
Bro,
I
like,
think
could
the
you
reason why
imagine
more
Fields
quarterbacks
throwing a
don't do
deep
that
ball to
is
Lamar?
yeah,
Because Lamar's
they're-
fast enough, he could run it. Lamar could run a go or a post. He could do it.
Yeah, but their pay scale gets dropped dramatically. Like if they go from being a quarterback to like labeled as like a running back or something like that. I
Bullshit.
mean, dude, you'll make more money in 1 year
Bullshit.
as a quarterback as you will a running back
Dude. Well, let me
for your
pull
whole
it up.
contract.
I want to pull it up because you're right, but at the same time, it's hard because we have
Yes,
one
but
person.
when Taysom Hill
Taysom
signed
Hill.
that, when he signed that contract, he was labeled as a quarterback.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
he still is for the most part labeled as a quarterback, but Taysom Hill, his cap
He's
number this
labeled
year
as a
is
tight end
34
now.
on a point year. Last year, Taysom Hill was the highest paid player in NOLA. The highest paid player in NOLA with the biggest base
Okay.
salary.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
they
Taysom
would
Hill,
switch
you're
Fields'
right.
position before they sign him. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
not going to be like, hey, we're going to pay you backup quarterback
did
or
a
quarterback
2-year
money
40.
for you to take handoffs.
Okay, so he did a 2-year 40. If you're going to sign him as a running back / Swiss Army knife, maybe you give him a 2-year 30 because you're also going to call him your backup quarterback. That's what they did with Taysom Hill for a long time. He's the backup quarterback. Okay, cool. You play that game with him, you can get him for two. I mean, he's going to be a pay cut over the starting
Yeah.
quarterback. Yeah, but he's still going to make good coin.
My thing, yeah. I mean, I just look at it like the quarterback thing is just completely out. Like he's not a backup quarterback. He's not, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna get all hung up in discussing the fields of Boston Fields.
So I mean, he's going to be interested to see what happens with him this offseason too, though, because look at just like the Keebler Elf and Tua, there's going to be decisions made on those guys.
Do all three of these guys end up in the UFL?
No, even if they get cut, they don't go to
I think somebody will take a chance on Kyler for less money.
That's who I think has the best shot at it, because I don't know how many people are going to want to risk anything with Tua, and you think Tua's going to want a semi-decent contract.
And I'll be honest with you, like I know Minnesota seems to think that JJ McCarthy is going to be that dude, but I think Kyler Murray could probably do well in Minnesota.
Oh, Joe, you reminded me of something I heard today. Thank you very much.
Like
Just
you got an elite wide receiver core. Your offensive line is better. You have a defense like you need to. You got some aging pieces on your defense, but you can draft. Like I don't know.
Atlanta has restructured Kirk Cousins' contract, making him a hell of a lot more tradable. Wouldn't it be absolutely fucking hilarious if he ends up in Minnesota again?
And Fields is going nowhere really. He's guaranteed $10 million this year. His cap number is $23 million. His dead cap, if they cut him, Let me check post June 1st. It's probably be the same with this one. Okay, no, it's different. If they cut him post June 1st, they have 13 million dead and they save 10 mil, so that he could go somewhere. But I mean, if they cut him, I could see Justin going signing somewhere for 10 mil to be a backup, and someone will sign him as a backup. So yeah, I mean, there's some other weird possibilities there.
I could also see Kyler Murray going to Cleveland just because he's better than anything they have on the roster right now. Like,
Shut your whore mouth. Shador is awesome.
like I could see.
Would you say
I think
should whore standard?
should Horace Sanders. But
I mean, look,
I
this
like the
offseason-
Minnesota fit better for Kyler Murray. Like, I think he could, and I don't think he would. I don't think he's going to get another $55 million a year contract.
Minnesota money. Let me check out their money real quick for Minnesota. Right now, Minnesota has 52 people signed to their roster for next year, and they're negative 46 million. Justin Jefferson be the big contract there. Darisaw is making 23 mil next year. Wow. They got some big contracts. Jonathan Allen, 21 million. Byron Murphy, 19 million. They got some guys that can cut. Let me go post June 1st. See if there's any. Okay. Darisaw, if they cut him post June 1st, they saved 23 million.
Yeah, I wouldn't
After
cut
that-
Darisaw.
After that, Will Fries, you cut him and save. Oh no, you won't save anything. 610,000. Never mind. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, if you cut Darisaw, you save no money. It's all dead cap. The only one
damn.
you could cut. Well, okay, this could be interesting. Brian O'Neill, if you cut him, you save 16 mil or 19.5 mil on cap. Grenard, which I doubt they will, be another 19 mil they could save with only 3 million in dead cap. TJ Hawkinson, if they cut him, which they probably should with as much injury time, and he hasn't been worth the money, they would take 5.3 in dead but save 16. So like, I don't know if Minnesota could be a place for Kyler Murray because of their cap situation. Like, there's a GM that might need to finally get fired in Quezzy. I don't know what cap
He's worked
magic-
wonders
Yeah.
with the cap.
It's
If
really
anybody
it's
can
really
make it
funny
happen,
too,
Quezzy
man.
could.
I mean, I'm friendly with a couple Vikings podcasters, and it's so funny how it's like drawn along racial lines with the fan base. Like, all the fans who are white say it's Quezzy's fault. All the fans who are black say it's KOC's fault. I think both of those guys are terrible. So
Contracts. Right now, they got 52 signed to the roster. They're negative 46 mil. Now, let's say the NFL gives 20 mil. They still got cleared 26 million in cap. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. They got cut like 36 mil in cap because the draft class is roughly 10 mil, right? Is what you need in cap. And they're not signing anyone this offseason. So they've got to do something. And so Quezzy's got to get his numbers, got to do some crazy Eddie math. Because right now, and I don't know if it's KOC or if it's Quezzy, but Quezzy's in charge of contracts, not KOC. So Quezzy's kind of put them in a bind contractually, money-wise, where now their hands are tied and they can't do anything. But then, and you can't blame KOC for that because he didn't tell them to go with the rookie quarterback for money, right? He went with the rookie quarterback because he thought he was better and he's cheaper. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can blame both, but Quezzy definitely has them hamstrung with the contracts. And considering the fact that Quezzy couldn't even recognize Justin Jefferson in that little thing they did on Amazon, should tell you Quezzy doesn't even know his fucking players.
you know what's
He had no idea. It was,
dude. I'll
everyone
tell
else
you.
figured out it was- everyone else figured out it was Justin Jefferson except for Quezzy.
He's a terrible GM, and you know, I kind of feel like even though I thought Minnesota might go on a run at the end of the season, and they did, but it's kind of smoke and mirrors, man. Because I also think, just looking at their team taking a step back now, like looking at next year, they're really a lot closer to being like full rebuild mode than most people realize. Because man, I think this is Quezzy and KOC's last year together. If they don't make the playoffs or win a playoff game, I think they're both out. they have to basically replace almost their entire secondary now. Like both safeties, they only have one good cornerback on the roster. Like, their O-line needs work. Like they got some linebackers. Like, I don't know, man. Their team's not looking great going forward.
Taking a step back though, because we all said, like we blame KOC for saying, "Oh, we don't want Darnold. I want to go with the young guy." I don't think they could have kept Darnold financially. Look at where they're at in their finances right now coming into next year. I don't know if Darnold could have worked for them, like maybe for this year they could have found money, but beyond, they're in such dire straits, and this feeds into your argument. They're closer to the end than they are being in the window because of where they are financially. And they screwed themselves out of the window by not being able to keep Darnold because of the money.
Yeah, and I think so. Like, if you look at Darnold, he got like a 3-year, $100 million contract with Seattle. You could have paid Darnold, between 30, 35 mil a year as a starting quarterback. That is, that's such a discount, and they could have kept him. And man, I think what's going to make them go under is actually them not keeping Darnold.
If they kept Darnold, they'd be almost negative 80 million.
Yeah, they would have to work some other things out for sure, but I'm just saying Darnold for a starting quarterback, bargain deal.
What you're kind of seeing though, and this is going to be a GM problem. Justin Jefferson's almost 40 million of their cap, and go back to what we just talked about with Miami, with Tua being such a huge piece of their cap. These wide receivers being such a big piece of their team's caps is making it hard for these teams to keep their quarterbacks and stay competitive. So, that's why you look at Chicago right now. What's the Bears' window? DJ Moore is on a team-friendly contract for 3 or 4 more years. They got 3 more years of rookie deal of Rome. You got 4 more years of rookie deal on Burden. The Bears are going to be facing the same kind of thing here in the next 2 or 3 years, because right now you've got your quarterback and 2 of your receivers on rookie quarterback on rookie contracts. But if you look at the receiving market, dude, you don't think Rome is going to cost a lot of money? Luther Burns is going to cost a lot of money. Caleb is definitely going to cost to be the biggest contract in Bears history when he resigns the way he's going. It's crazy. And so it's.
I've been trying to keep a straight face with that.
What was that? I didn't say it.
Again, saw it.
Hold on. I'll put it up for you.
No, go to the one before. If we watch what Ed Policy does in the offseason, most of the coach staff will be gone, guarantee it. Like, Ken the Packers fan will fire me if the Packers lose. That's funny. But if you look at finances, that's why Kwesi, I think you can put more blame on Kwesi, because you gave Justin Jefferson $40 million fucking dollars, and then you had to give Darisaw money. You had to give Grenard money for your defense. We're at that point where these guys really, there has to be something done with some of these contracts of these position groups. I get it. These guys generate a lot of money for teams, but you're hampering your team now because Justin Jefferson's contract precludes you from going out and getting a quarterback this offseason. Tyreek Hill could preclude Miami from doing some shit because you're paying so much money to a guy who's dependent on having a quarterback. And if you don't have a quarterback, you're wasting $40 million on Justin Jefferson. You're wasting it. Sure, Justin Jefferson, is he worth $40 million? Probably, yeah, all day long. I don't want to piss off Viking fans. He's worth the money. I like Justin. Who does not like Justin Jefferson? The dude's a nice dude, too, when you see him. He's a good guy. He's a great, phenomenal ball player.
Is he still in purple? Then I don't like him. I hate him.
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, that's why they're already.
He's a really nice guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're already saying they're not going to be able to retain Addison. His contract's up, I think, after his rookie deal's up after next year. So it's like, yeah.
Now, maybe Justin Jefferson comes. Let me see if he restructures. Let's see if you can restructure Justin Jefferson.
Do you really think Justin Jefferson's the kind of guy that's going to give any money back? Because I don't see.
Well, no, when you restructure, you're not necessarily giving money back.
I was going to say that's how you got to do it. Is you got to just shuffle money around, because I don't see him being the
If
guy.
you
I'll take a
restructure
team-friendly
Jefferson,
deal.
you can save 18 million. Now, how that affects the cap down the road, I'm not sure. But short term, he's your biggest prize in restructuring. 18 million. I mean, it's hard. I mean, the Bears are going to face this in a couple years. The Vikings are facing it now. Barry says Justin restructure, not going to happen. Look at Jalen Johnson restructuring Chicago 1 year after signing his big deal.
Mhm. Yeah, you're not losing money in a restructure. Typically, they
Right.
just give you more up front as a bonus, and they just classify it as a bonus, and
Yep.
you know. So he would
Okay.
actually just get a big check right now,
Yeah.
which I don't think anybody would be too upset with. You know, oh, you want to cut me a check for 30 million? Yeah, no problem, dude. You know, but Minnesota's real problem is that they've kind of stuck themselves with JJ McCarthy now for better or worse, dude, because they can't afford to go out and get better. Like, you better hope he you better hope he develops. Like,
Even
Yeah.
if you
JJ, touch my
restructure,
hand and cry McCarthy.
even if you restructure Jefferson for the max and you get 20 million from the NFL and new cap, guess what? You're still going to be negative $7 or $8 million. You still got to cut people, and you only have 52 people signed to your roster currently, including your practice squad. And then you're going to have a draft class of 7 to 8 guys, and all your undrafted free agent rookies. I mean, dude, you are in financial hell in Minnesota right now.
Yeah, and that's another point. Like Quessy is literally, he might be the worst drafting GM I've ever seen in the history of the NFL. So even if they have draft picks, yeah, they're going to have to pay him, and they're most likely going to be bum players.
Oh, wait a minute, bros. He does
Shout
draft
out
good wide
Quessy.
receivers. Give Quessy. He does draft good wide receivers. He drafted Jefferson. He drafted Addison.
No, he didn't draft Jefferson. He drafted Naylor and Addison.
Well, Naylor's not bad though either. I'd say
Yeah, I
Naylor.
was
Those
gonna
are
say
the only. He's
yeah, a lot of
literally
Vikings
hit on
fans
4
like
picks
that.
in 4 years. He's hit on 4 picks in 4 years. He's hit on Naylor, Addison,
And
and
he
from
can
the
draft-
Donovan Jackson from the current draft. And now some are saying Dallas Turner from last year because he led the team in sacks. But that's
Well,
it. That's
Dallas
literally.
Turner
I've gone down the list every year. 4
Dallas
players. That's
Turner
it.
was a steal. Yeah, I think Dallas Turner was a steal. What I said at the time when he drafted.
Yeah. So
It was a steal. I mean, Quessy, yeah, he's not the best drafter, but like you're at the
No.
point, and Fred has it right. Like Jefferson can't throw the ball to himself and catch it, and that's the problem with the receiver money. I think we're going to see an adjustment in receiver contracts now because you're starting to see the effects already with these guys getting these huge monster deals as receivers. The negative effect it's having at teams being able to compete in terms of what if they need a quarterback, Miami, Minnesota. Green Bay doesn't have that problem because they don't pay their receivers stupid money. Of course, they can't draft them either because Golden has probably some of the worst numbers of the rookie wide receivers this year, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's because he hasn't been fucking used.
Shots fired.
Look,
Hey,
look
when
at
Man
his
down.
snaps.
Walker, an unsigned free agent rookie for the Bears, has better numbers in your first round pick, maybe there was a reason why Green Bay didn't draft receivers in the first round. I'm just saying. They
Stop
were
it,
better
Ken. He's
off
already,
getting later.
stop it, Ken. He's already dead.
Man, this is going to be great to revisit next year if Golden takes off.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Big if.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
oh yeah.
the Packers' track record of drafting guys in the 4th and 5th round worked. They get production out of those guys. You get a guy in the first round, he didn't give you shit. So if
We
I'm,
also
if I'm
have
a Packers fan, I'm going stop draft. No, please go be another 20 years before you draft one. Go back to drafting him in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, please. Draft linemen in the first round like you used to. That was better.
We also have a track record of barely using receivers in their first year.
Yeah, be a little shit there, but I mean, but look,
yeah,
I mean,
I'm just glad the
that
Packers didn't draft Burden, man. Whew.
Golden's not going to cost you a fortune though at this rate when you come to resign, and I don't think Green Bay would pay him $40 million.
No.
I mean,
Here we
okay,
go with Thor.
you gotta
He's blaming drops on the quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. So hey guys, we're out of time.
Oh.
JB is next. We the good discussion. We'll be back tomorrow talking about our playoff picks for this weekend.
Well,
Enjoy.
hopefully we will if the NFL doesn't decide that we got to talk about more coach firings.
Yeah, no shit. So keep it glued. We'll see you guys tomorrow. JV's next. Have a great day, everyone. Yeah, hold on, broski.